Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and we're here in beautiful Waynesfield, Ohio, in rural Auglaize County, and with us today is Jim Jordan. Jim, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, well, it's always good to be in God's country here in the 4th District of Ohio, West Central Ohio at the Turner Farm, so good to be here.
Well, so, there's a lot of things on people's minds, obviously. Things are going on in Washington, D.C. You've been there for a long time, and so you have your pulse and have the pulse on. And with our viewers, one thing that's kind of top of mind is what's going on with the Farm Bill. Maybe we could just talk about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the Ag Committee, but I know Chairman Thompson is working hard on putting together that legislation. What is it? Every 5 years we reauthorize, have a new Farm Bill. The main focus, again, for Republicans is you want to have that safety net, that basic insurance plan in place for people who produce our food. But then you want to get out of the way as best you can, let the market work. And that's what we're trying to do. One of the tensions always in this legislation is we conservatives, for the part of the bill, which is actually most of the bill, which is not related to agriculture, is the food stamp, the SNAP program. And we want to make sure that there continue to be good, solid work requirements. If you're going to get taxpayer money, there should be some kind of work requirement that you do in order to receive help from the taxpayers, in particular in that program. So we'll continue to look for that kind of welfare reform language, but we'll just kind of wait and see where Chairman Thompson gets with the legislation here over the next few months.
Well, one other thing is always, and Dan and I have talked about this before, and we've talked with, other folks about conservation, water quality, environmental things. So, I don't know, do you know where they're at addressing that in the Farm Bill as well?
Well, it's just a general concern that you have this whole climate change, Green New Deal concept and imposing further restrictions on the ability of landowners, in this case farmers and people in agriculture, how they use their land, what they do. One of the issues that always is a concern is water. The waters of the USA, water's on your land, and how the EPA is going to regulate you if you in any way alter any ditch or stream or mud puddle. It seems like sometimes. So yeah, that's a concern, and I'm sure we will, as Republicans, try to make sure that we're protecting private property rights, farmers' rights when it comes to their ability to farm their land, use their land in the way that they think is best.
So, and of course the recent Supreme Court ruling, was really kind of, a lot of good come out of that. And so maybe just comment a little bit on that.
Well, I would just say not just that ruling, but across the board. It shows you why who you have in the White House matters, because you put the right kind of judges, justices on the Supreme Court and throughout our federal court system. It is so important. But we've gotten this decision. But last year we got the good decision on the life issue, the EPA decision, West Virginia, of course, and then here recently, just in the last week, the ruling on affirmative action, religious liberty, and the student loan issue, huge. Not to mention the ruling we got on July 4th from the federal judge in Louisiana on this whole censorship idea where the federal government was pressuring big tech companies to restrict American speech, to limit anything they posted or tweet, the reach it had, who got to share it, who got to see it. So a number of good rulings, but that goes back to, frankly, that President Trump was in the White House and put good guys on the federal bench.
So shift gears here a little bit. I want to just kind of touch on maybe immigration a little bit. Mm-hmm. Immigration reform is always top of mind. Although we do rely in this country on immigrants illegally, or legal people to be here to do a lot of things. And you want to just kind of fill us in on where you're at in Washington, D.C. with that.
Well, we're doing a number of hearings in our committee, as well as hearings happening in the Homeland Security Committee, where we're looking at how Mayorkas has handled this situation. But the good news is we passed in the House the strongest immigration enforcement, border security legislation ever. Got through the House, a great bill. Senate's not taking it up, unfortunately. But if in a year and a half we can win the White House and the Senate, that's the bill we need to pass. And that would put back in place the good policies we had under President Trump, where we had a Remain in Mexico policy. We actually were building the wall. We didn't just release people into the country. It would reform our asylum laws. It would have penalties for people who overstay their visas. The kind of legislation that makes sense, as well as some of just the practical things on our border with agents and technology to better police and control our southern border. So we're going to continue to work in that area. There are some who've called for the impeachment of Mr. Mayorkas. I've said all along, I think he certainly warrants that, but that's something we have to decide as a conference after we go through these series of hearings and get all the facts.
So over the past, prior few years, we were energy independent, right? So that dynamic has kind of changed, unfortunately, just based upon what's going on in Washington, D.C. And there's opportunities out here in this part of the world, even a lot of places, to keep us energy independent. You want to just kind of talk about that a little bit?
Well, my attitude is just common sense. Any and all energy, let's use it all. Let's not say, oh, we're against gas and oil and coal, and we're only for wind and solar. Why not be for everything and let the market work? And so we can compete against. China's not putting these kind of artificial restrictions on what their energy sources are. We shouldn't either. And particularly agriculture understands with ethanol, but oil and gas for our electric needs, everything, it makes no sense to see what they're doing. I remember we had a hearing 2 years ago in the Oversight Committee when the Democrats were in charge. They had a hearing where they invited in the executives from the oil and gas companies, and they were just trying to beat these guys up. And one of the Democrats, during his question time for questioning, he went down the line. We had the BP, the Chevron, all these executives, and he says, "Will you pledge today to decrease production? Why won't you tell the American people today you're gonna decrease production?" I'm like, what company wants to decrease what they produce? They want to make more. I mean, and he got done, and I asked him a question. I said, "What do you want? $8 gas?" The truth is, they do. The radical left, which controls the other party, that's what they want, and that is it's so harmful to families and business owners and to our economy. It makes no sense to me. So yeah, let's just use common sense, for goodness sake, and have an all the above type of strategy.
Well, of course, this is my personal observation, and I'm sure everybody wants clean energy, right? But they don't want it in their backyard. So it becomes a real issue for farmers and producers who have the opportunity, to say, hey, I can utilize my land for more than agriculture, right? To produce crops.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that. This idea you're putting good farmland. There's legislation been introduced that I support, which says no, you can't put solar panels in quality farm ground. I mean, I understand private property rights, but this makes me really nervous. If you want solar panels, God bless you. Put them on your roof. Do that, but don't. I just get real nervous about farm ground. And then you're seeing some of these solar panels happen in areas where it's Chinese money coming in to do this. They're happening in agriculture ground, sometimes close nearby a military installation, a military base. I think we've got to be real careful about all that.
One other, shift gears here just a little bit. This is kind of not really related to agriculture, but it is. When we look at what's going on, and we'll just talk about Ukraine real quick, right? And they're a real player in the food supply chain, right? We only you see a lot more. Can you give us kind of a little bit of update? What's going on in Ukraine? How that grain's moving? All those kind of things.
I probably don't know any more than you do. I'm not on the Intel Committee or Foreign Affairs, but I'm very nervous about us continuing. Us continuing to send money there, send Americans' hard-earned tax money to Ukraine. Look, what Putin did is wrong, and we know that, and we're not for that, and we're for Ukraine prevailing, but. I've not supported the vast majority of the legislation that's went through on Ukraine. I initialed some of the sanctions initially in the first legislation I supported. Other than that, myself and a bunch of other Republicans have said no. This is no more to this. So it was interesting what happened a couple weeks ago with this mercenary group and the uprising against looked like almost a coup attempt maybe. There in Russia. So I think we just got to have to wait and see how this plays out. But I don't think we should be sending American tax money there.
So one of the things that did happen under President Trump was an update to NAFTA. You want to just talk about that and how you think that's helped us?
Yeah, I think so many of the policies President Trump put in place were helpful to our economy. It's why we had just phenomenal growth in our economy. He also used tariffs, which I know we get nervous about sometimes, but I do think he did that in a way that helped our steel industry, helped our manufacturing sector, and then he used some of the proceeds from that to help our folks in the agriculture sector too. So President Trump was willing to, the first president in modern times who stood up to the Chinese. No one else would do it. And I appreciate that. And he basically said, look, you don't want to trade the way you want to steal our intellectual property. You don't want to follow international trade norms. Then we're going to use tariffs. And he did. And I think it helped us in manufacturing. I know here in West Central, North Central Ohio, you think about companies like Whirlpool, made a difference for them and others. So we need that kind of, I think, strength from the Oval Office again. That's why I'm supporting President Trump and hope he's our nominee and hope he's our next president.
Jim, thanks for being with us. We greatly appreciate it.
You bet. God bless you.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.
Midway Trailers and Rodock Leasing Sales and Service is Ohio's only authorized Timty dealer, and we have the perfect grain hopper for you. And right now, before September 30th, receive a $1,000 rebate when you finance a new trailer. Midway Trailers, Rodock Leasing Sales and Service. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
Hi, I'm Alan Davis. And here at Alan Davis Insurance, we strive to be your solutions provider. As a business owner and an active farmer, I know the challenges firsthand that you face to run your business and your farm. Give us a call, 419-738-7447, for your auto, home, life, farm, commercial, crop, and financial services. Or check us out on the web at AlanDavisInsurance.com.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Devin Dye from Dye Real Estate and Land Company, your area leader in land auctions, invites you to another great land auction opportunity. August 15th at the Upper Scioto Valley Auditorium in McGuffey, Ohio. 80-plus acres of beautiful farmland in Hardin County. Don't miss this great land auction opportunity August 15th at the Upper Scioto Valley Auditorium, 510 South Courtright Street in McGuffey, Ohio. Online bidding is also available. Dye Real Estate and Land Company is your area leader in land auctions. For more information, go to dyerealestate.com. That's dyerealestate.com. Only Meyer offers the widest range of forage boxes in the industry. Choose between front, rear, and dual discharge boxes. Then pick between wagon mount, trailer mount, or truck mount, roof, or no roof. That's your call. Meyer is there for your operation with the right box and options for you. Visit your local Apple Farm Service to learn which Meyer forage box is right for you.
We're at the edge of the Beaver Creek wetlands, and this is Japanese knotweed. It's an invasive species into the wetlands, and they do not want to use chemicals that pollute the water and the air. We're approaching 9 billion people on this planet. Nearly 800 million people, that's 1 in 9, currently are food insecure globally. It's a multi-dimensional problem, and we need a diverse workforce with international savvy and knowledge in agricultural policy, business, and science to combat this challenge. We must find new ways of farming, processing, and distributing food. This is already happening with the addition of sustainable practices in farming, precision agriculture, conservation, and urban gardening, just to name a few initiatives. We want to solve this problem here at Central State, and we have teams of students and faculty that are doing research in precision agriculture to kill weeds without the use of chemicals. We're taking directed energy and adapting that to the field use, agriculture use, and even to trees to try to kill pests in those areas. Our job as an 1890 land-grant institution is to take the research that we do here on campus and then make it applicable to the real world.
Welcome to St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Ag Pack. Ag Pack is an exclusive package of discounts on products and services you already use on your farm and ranch. And you get Ag Pack with every vehicle you purchase. We are your certified agriculture dealership.
You get straight talk, real service, and the right price. St. Mary's Chrysler, you get straight talk.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. We also provide an outstanding equine coverage from a homeowner with a single horse to a professional breeder and everything in between. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
Salina Insurance Group. For more information, be sure to check them out on the web at salinainsurance.com. That's salinainsurance.com.
Pusheta Creek Steaks, naturally delicious, antibiotic, and hormone-free. From fresh, grass and grain-fed, free-to-roam cattle. Pusheta Creek is a family-owned and operated 210-acre free-range ranch right here in Ohio. And we take the time to custom-fit your order to exactly what you want for steaks, roasts, hamburger, pet treats, gifts, freezer boxes, and much more. Check us out on the web at PushetaCreekSteaks.com. That's PushetaCreekSteaks.com.
Our farming operation is located in Delaware, Ohio. I'm a fourth-generation farm. I partner with my stepfather, Brett, and we farm about 3,000 acres.
I'm Mark Laux. I'm an extension weed scientist and agronomist and professor of weed science here at The Ohio State University.
Our business is called Benchmark Biodiesel. We started this business about 10 years ago, and it's a family-owned business.
I'm Jan Lehman. I'm a general partner in Lehman Farms LLP at Kenton, Ohio. We are a continuous no-till operation, corn and soybeans.
I'm Ram Lalgudi. I'm a CEO of Aries Science and Technology.
Hi, I'm Amber. I'm the founder and CEO of 11th Kennel Company.
The things Ohio Soybean Council does is important to me because it's an outreach. It makes me feel like somebody's out there putting our best foot forward for me. When I'm busy growing the soybeans, I can't be two places at once.
Checkoff's investment in research is important to Ohio farmers because it essentially, among other things, provides funding to people like myself so that I can stay ahead of problems that may be coming, solve current problems, and make sure I have solutions in place.
What the Checkoff investment in biodiesel means to me is that they invest in groups that will advocate for biodiesel, such as the National Biodiesel Board, such as Clean Fuels Ohio, here in Ohio. And when they do that, it allows those groups to go out and teach fleets about biodiesel.
Ohio Soybean Council are already doing a lot of steps, like updating farmers on the newer research areas that could be replaced with the soy-based materials, going into markets where sustainability is a bigger goal. Like European market is very aggressive in sustainable products, so we can penetrate with the soy-based research into international markets.
The Ohio Soybean Council in particular has won a number of awards for new uses. Toner cartridges was one that was involved when I was involved with the board. So soy inks, soy foam, soy plastics, there's been a lot of that.
I really believe that the Soybean Council helps farmers as well as other people in the industry to grow and to really spread the mission of soy as a good product that can be used in a variety of different industries. And so for us specifically, it's the Soybean Council partnering with us to grow and increase our sales, which increases the need for soybeans in general. So we really believe in the mission of the Ohio Soybean Council and what they're doing and the farmers that produce the great product that we use.
To me, my soybean checkoff investment means that farmers are willing to invest in our future. We want to maintain that we grow great soybeans, and we're doing everything we can within our powers to do so.
Midway Trailers and Rodock Leasing Sales and Service is Ohio's only authorized Timty dealer, and we have the perfect grain hopper for you. And right now, before September 30th, receive a $1,000 rebate when you finance a new trailer. Midway Trailers, Rodock Leasing Sales and Service. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
It's a humble idea. Use a biological process to turn a plant into a power source. From that idea came the first Poet Refinery. One biorefinery in one town turned into 27 facilities in 27 towns, creating new local jobs, producing hundreds of millions of gallons of ethanol, and providing renewable products around the world. Suddenly, that one little idea seems a whole lot bigger. See the world differently with Poet.
Farmers Alliance, your area Beck's dealer, is a family-owned company dedicated to doing what's right by farmers, with a focus on providing localized service and as many choices as possible when it comes to crop inputs. And we offer those inputs at wholesale cost to our customers. In addition to products and inputs, Farmers Alliance is your go-to provider for custom applications. For more information or to place an order today, contact Farmers Alliance, your area Beck's dealer, at myfarmersalliance.com. Tough is cutting through 5-inch thick brush. Tough is Rhino Ag. Available at your local Apple Farm Service. Flex Wing, multi-spindle, single spindle, and boom mowers. Rhino has an entire lineup of tough cutting machines for your farm, pasture, woods, or property. Stop by your local Apple Farm Service to learn which Rhino Tough Mower is meant for you.
Hi, I'm Alan Davis. And here at Alan Davis Insurance, we strive to be your solutions provider. As a business owner and an active farmer, I know the challenges firsthand that you face to run your business and your farm. Give us a call, 419-738-7447, for your auto, home, life, farm, commercial, crop, and financial services. Or check us out on the web at alandavisinsurance.com.
Farming has been in my blood. I was always involved as a child or a kid and growing up, and it was probably after I graduated college and got married that I finally made the decision that that's what I wanted to do for a living. My name's Todd Hesterman. I'm a fourth-generation farmer. We farm in both Henry and Fulton County. I've been raising soybeans ever since I've been involved. I started farming full-time in 1986, and my dad was at it before that, and he always grew soybeans too. There's so many segments you can cut a soybean up into, and you can use it for resins and oils and feed additives. It's a very diverse and wonderful crop to be raising. As a businessman and farmer, I look at it as we always try to control our costs, our inputs. The checkoff was established when I was a young farmer. For what it cost us, it's a small investment. To me, it's definitely been beneficial for the amount of the small investment we have. The return is far greater. Being on the board for the checkoff, I also realize how much research costs. And we thought it was worth the investment to start our own lab.
The Ohio Soybean Council over the last year has been investing their checkoff funds differently than the rest of the U.S. with respect to developing soy bio-based products. They've approved and are investing in a research lab in Delaware, Ohio called Arable Research Lab, where we're not funding commercial companies to develop products. We're developing our own soy-based products and working with commercial companies to license those technologies and sell those products to create demand for soybeans. Whether it's a soy methyl ester emulsion for rejuvenating roofs or a soybean oil used in lubricants for bikes. Without that checkoff program, we wouldn't have been able to start an Arable Research Lab to do that early proof of principle concepts, to show companies how soy can function in their existing products, and has also just allowed us to kind of think openly about new ideas, just like how biodiesel was developed. Someone had to have that idea, someone had to fund that project, that initial project, to do that research to determine if soy could be used to produce biodiesel. And now, to this day, biodiesel utilizes about 25% of all the oil in the U.S.
We're fortunate here in Ohio to have personnel and expertise locally. Industry is so strong in Ohio that we have chemists that are available to help us with research. It's invaluable. That's something that, as a farmer himself, can't do. We have to work collectively to get that done. For every dollar I think that we invest in the Soybean Council, we've made back probably 12 times that over the years. It's almost like an insurance policy, that helps stimulate markets and new uses. We actually have other soybean boards that have looked at what we're doing, and we may even be able to help their states with projects as well. So I think we're a one of a kind. It's a special deal here in Ohio.
Tough is cutting through 5-inch thick brush. Tough is Rhino Ag. Available at your local Apple Farm Service. Flex Wing, multi-spindle, single spindle, and boom mowers. Rhino has an entire lineup of tough cutting machines for your farm, pasture, woods, or property. Stop by your local Apple Farm Service to learn which Rhino Tough Mower is meant for you. Farmers Alliance, your area Beck's dealer, is a family-owned company dedicated to doing what's right by farmers, with a focus on providing localized service and as many choices as possible when it comes to crop inputs. And we offer those inputs at wholesale cost to our customers. In addition to products and inputs, Farmers Alliance is your go-to provider for custom applications. For more information or to place an order today, contact Farmers Alliance, your area Beck's dealer, at myfarmersalliance.com. Midway Trailers and Rodock Leasing Sales and Service is Ohio's only authorized Timty dealer, and we have the perfect grain hopper for you. And right now, before September 30th, receive a $1,000 rebate when you finance a new trailer. Midway Trailers, Rodock Leasing Sales and Service. When you need a haul, give Midway a call.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. You can always check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. There you'll find links to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and our podcast. Check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. That's inohiocountry.com.